Okay. Hey, what's going on? I'm back. Uh, Technical difficulties there, so we should be back up and running. I don't know. How's it going? It's been, like I said before, when I actually started this the first time. Um, I think we did a live stream, our first one, which this is obviously going so great, but we did our first one like last week, I think, sometime. And yeah, so we had a good time. I know there was a lot of people in there chatting along. We got some people now. Again, what's up? Hi, Super Monkey Gamer, Justin Bunch. Hi again, everybody. Yeah, so for some reason it wasn't working before, but had to restart it. All hail the king. He is in here. The Jurassic King. Um, yeah, how's it going, everybody? You guys doing good? It's been a week. So, what's changed in the world of Jurassic Park? Not much. Not much. Yeah, I can't really say much has changed. That's the funny thing about doing a podcast devoted to Jurassic Park is, well, not much changes from a day to day basis. There's always a lot of great conversation and stuff in the community. Um, Recently, there was a big conversation about Canon and stuff like that. So maybe we'll talk about that if you guys are interested in talking about a little bit of Canon and stuff. And what's up, Angry T Rex? Um, I don't know if you guys saw the video. I did this video just the other day of Ellie Sattler, the new. I keep saying that. I said it in the video. The new figure from Mattel. It's not new because it's been out for, let's see, since probably about April or so. And I just never found it. But here she is. So I got to do a little review on this. So if you got to check that out, very cool. If you didn't, go back and watch it. Let's see what else we got here. Uh, RIAV. Play the drums. Um, no. I'm gonna. That would be boring. You guys don't want to hear me play the drums or anything. Um, it'd be very loud, and I don't know if it would come over YouTube. Does anybody do that? Or are they like live streaming drum sessions? It's 9:56, and I'm still enjoying some coffee here, so bear with me. Um, have you heard of the Albertosaurus? Yeah, yeah, definitely have. Is that the end of the question? um, the Jurassic King says, "How do you feel about Ice Age animals being in Jurassic?" Hmm. I think somebody asked me this last time. I don't know if it was you or not, but yeah, I don't know where somebody asked me. But Ice Age animals, I would be cool with them being in a Jurassic Park movie. Um, yeah, I just don't think they should be like the main focus of the movie. I don't think that would be enough of a thrill for Jurassic fans who are used to crazy monsters and dinosaurs just roaming all over the TV screen or the movie theater screen. Uh, I think it could be interesting, but I just don't think it would be as impactful as a T Rex or Indominus Rex or Spinosaurus or something crazy like that. So I would like to see it, but I think it should be like its own park. Um, Maybe they could just like focus on it for like 3 minutes out of an entire story or something like that. I don't really think like it has a place in this franchise. Um, Maybe if you're talking about like a book or something like that, I think it could work. But as far as a movie goes, I don't know if it has enough weight to carry a full story. But if they're talking about like different parks, like this one park in Europe or somewhere has these dinosaurs or these feathered dinosaurs or whatever, and then hey, this park over here in Russia has ice age creatures and stuff like that. So they've got the woolly mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, all those kinds of crazy things. And then another park has like more of the like big reptiles and stuff like that. Like they'll have like dimetrodons and moss chops and like crazy stuff like that. I think that would be a good route to go, and it'd be interesting. I don't know. I still don't know at this point in time why anybody would want to see. Uh, it's hard to say. I think we all have like a morbid curiosity for dinosaurs and giant creatures. So I think even though so many people have died at this point from dinosaurs, I still think people would go to a park. And I know like people who go to watch these movies will say like, "Oh, another Jurassic. How many times can you, make another theme park with dinosaurs? Wouldn't the world learn? Wouldn't the world know any better?" No, I don't. I really don't think we would. I don't think. I don't think we would. I think we would still go. I think we would still. you know, I think we'd still be very curious as to what's going on there and want to see them for ourselves. And if it's all over the world, say for instance in Jurassic World 3, they're opening up these places. I think still people around the world would go because they maybe didn't get a chance to go to Jurassic World and stuff. I don't know. When you view things from the scope of like a TV or you're scrolling through Twitter with a news feed and you see these things happening in the world, you don't necessarily believe them or know that they're true. Like you almost don't believe it until you see it yourself. I mean, it's a common theme, right? You have to see it with your own eyes. So I think people would still do that, and still there would be arguments all around the world of whether dinosaurs are real or safe or unsafe or any of that stuff, and it would still continue, and people would still argue and debate, and people would still go to the park. So I think that is way far off of your original question of would you like to see ice aged creatures, but I think that when you're talking about that, you kind of have to talk about how it's possible. Gaming Beaver says, "What is this about?" Um, it's a podcast. I mean, if this is the, I don't know if it's the Gaming Beaver. It looks like maybe not, but yeah. I mean, if this is the Gaming Beaver, you've been on the podcast, so you should know what this is about. But this is just a live stream, so I'm just sitting here chatting with you guys. Let's see what else we got here. I gotta scroll up a little bit. The Jurassic King. I'm writing my own screenplay for that, so wish me luck on it. Oh, there you go. You can put me as a creative consultant for your Ice Age script there. Hopefully I didn't trounce on it too much, but I think it would work. And maybe if it isn't even a Jurassic concept or if it's its own concept, I think it could work. But in the terms of the Jurassic franchise, I don't know how well it would work on its own. Even if it is a spin-off or something like that, I just don't know. I can't see it being as impactful. Even though those animals, or not dinosaurs, those things are very cool. It would be so awesome to see a mammoth and anything, a saber-toothed tiger, something, anything along those lines. It'd be fantastic to see those things, but I don't know if it would work in the Jurassic franchise. But I'm excited to hear what you create there. I think that's gonna be cool. Let's see here. Okay, so follow up to that. You're writing your own spin-off series based on Ice Age animals in Jurassic. Trust me, it's worth it. Okay, I'll trust you. I'll wait to see. So make sure to send it over so I can take a look. All right, so yeah, I was mentioning before. I didn't even know. Hey, Michael. Things are going good, man. I know you popped in, but I'm excited to do these live streams. This is only the second one I've done here on YouTube. I was doing them for a while on Instagram. So I was kind of like, we had a good time over there, so why don't we transition over here? Hey, how's it going? So I was talking about for a second canon, and that's one of the big topics that's been happening in the community this week. The past few days, people have been discussing canon and what is canon and what does it mean to have canon in this franchise. Um, I think it's an interesting debate. Really, it's fun because because it sparks so much interesting discussion and arguments and creativity as well. You know, it's not all bad. I don't know if any of you guys took part in the recent like Twitter discussion about canon and Jurassic, or in the entire Jurassic series. But it was fun to watch. I tried to stay on the outskirts to not like interfere too much, but there was a lot of conversation going on about canon. So yeah, I think it's interesting because canon in this franchise is, it's not as firm as maybe something like Star Wars is, or anything else. I think, you know, it started off as one movie, and they moved into developing that further with two other movies, and then a fourth and a fifth movie now, and they've kind of been trying to fill in these gaps and like make a larger canon. And the guys at the DPG, and Ms. Ronnie Global, they've done a great job of filling the gaps and also creating content for everybody to sift through and to dive into, and answer a lot of questions and theories and speculation and stuff like that. So at the same time, you know, when you talk with them, they purposefully made it so it's kind of up for interpretation in a way. Some things, not everything, but you know, some things are up for interpretation when it comes to people's perspectives on what really happened and how the events went. So I think that's kind of a cool way to put it, because it's not hard and firm like some other things where you're like, this is definitely what happened. You know, like when you watch the films, you know that definitely happened. There's really no other way around it. That's hard, that's firm, that's exactly what happened. But when it comes to expanded material and stuff like that, it you can kind of make sense of it in your own way, I think. And I think that the DPG stuff has done a really good job of that, like letting you interpret it your own way and kind of see it through the eyes of these characters and the information that's been released. Because I think Jurassic is about mystery, right? Isn't this all about mystery? You know, the first events leading up to the island, it was like it was all shrouded in mystery. You didn't know where. Well, I mean, as a viewer, you knew, but the people in the movie didn't necessarily know what they were in for. Um, and then the second movie, it's like there's a lot of mystery there as to like what is InGen up to, what's going on there, and even John Hammond is being very mysterious about his wording and everything about sending people to the island. He's carefully selecting everything he says. Jurassic Park 3 is all about the mystery of Site B as well, and what else was InGen cooking up on that in their labs and stuff like. Well, that was kind of like a quote from Jurassic World, but exactly that. That was really what that movie boiled down to, is like what else is on InGen's list. Jurassic World, what kind of mystery do we have in that? I don't know. I mean, I guess the mystery is like, it's more so like what's going on behind the scenes, but I think this is all about mystery, so like you don't really know the full story, and I don't know if we'll ever get the full story. But at least they're trying to fill these gaps and stuff like that. So when people are talking about canon in such concrete ways, I find it very interesting because it's not so concrete. That's my thing, is I don't think it's very concrete. And, you know, a lot of people like to say, oh, that's just your own head canon, blah, blah, blah. You know, if you have a theory or an idea, they'll quickly dispel it and say, that's your own head canon. But I think head canon is valid to a point. You know, like, everybody deserves their own version of canon, I think. You know, the things that are hard and fast, like you can understand exactly what is canon and what is necessary to know in this franchise. But the things that are not are like they're up for interpretation. So I think you can relax with your standpoints of like headcanon and be like, no, 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 can't allow that. I think you can allow for some interpretation in this series because of that mystery. So I don't know. I've been kind of ignoring everything you guys have said over here, but I want to see if you guys are mentioning. Do you guys have any questions or thoughts on canon? Um, Especially, well, I'll ignore you some more because we have different levels of canon in a way, um, because we have the books. Now, books meaning the two Crichton books are their own canon. That's it. They're in a box. There's not. This is not a box. This is a circle. They're in a circle or in a box. They don't. They don't go out. They don't go in. Or actually, I'll say they go out maybe, but then they just fade and are absorbed. If that makes any sense. But nothing breaks through. So they are their own canon. Then you have the films. They are their own canon. And inside that web are the DPG, the Mizrahi sites, the evolution of Claire. I would say that's probably it. Some people will say that Jurassic Park the game is in that canon, but not necessarily. It's sort of like I would put the game on its own canon, like the books. So you have the books, and then you have the game, and then the movies are up here in the Claire book, and then the what did I say before? I'm blanking now. Oh, the DPG stuff and the Mizrahi stuff. So you have that all up here, and up here is where everything's feeding to. So everything up here is just, or you know what? Let's do it the other way. So you have the books. You have the books up here, and then you have the game up here, and then everything else is down here. You have the movies, DPG, Mizrahi, and what else did I say? The evolution of Claire. Everything from up here is sort of trickling down and feeding the stories. So they're not just pulling this into canon. They're just taking little bits and pieces of those things, and they've been doing that with the movies from the start. Not just the new series, not just the old series. It's been the entire thing has been pulling from those books, and I think even the new movie is pulling even from like the game too. You know, so there's a lot there. So you can't take everything from that game as canon because there's some things in that game that kind of mess up the canon, the actual movie canon. So it's hard to say. There's like almost two to three different levels there. So you have to understand that the games, there's various games that really are their own thing. Even though the Jurassic World Evolution has characters, Claire, Dr. Wu, Ian Malcolm. It does have Owen, but it's like a fake Owen. But even though they're there, it's not canon because that never happened. So yeah, there's all these different levels, so you have to be careful of what you pick and choose. But then there's like old books and Choose Your Own Adventures, which was a hot topic this past week, and even the Eric, like the Jurassic Park 3 books and stuff like that, and the comic books too. Like some stuff that was in there was based off the movies, and it just doesn't work. None of that stuff works. So in a way, like Star Wars did a great thing. Personally, I think. I know a lot of people probably disagree with that sentiment, but I think Star Wars did a very great thing where they said to the community of fans, this is a hard reset. So we have these 6 movies. This is what they said at the time. We have these 6 movies. We have, I think it was like 1 comic book, and we have this 1 TV show. They're full canon. Everything about them is canon. And then we're going to start fresh. So nothing you've ever seen, nothing you've ever read outside of these select things, nothing outside of those are canon, which I think was the best thing they could have done, because even though some of the expanded material was really good for that community, it didn't necessarily make a lot of sense overall. So they've kind of, they washed the slate clean and they made it their own thing. And they've built the canon from a brand new start, and it's flourishing. I think it's doing a great job now. Um, some of it is a little muddled, but I think overall it's great. So now they seem to be doing that with Jurassic, but they haven't like, there was never any like official statement that's like everything has been erased aside from these four things. So it would have been maybe nice to have that, so we could have that in print to say like, no, that's not included, this is not included, that's not included. But we don't have that, so we have to still argue about it. We still have to debate and be creative about everything that we're coming up with and thinking about. Because some things you can take in the head canon and they don't really, I think as long as they don't mess up anything that actually happens in the movies, I think it's safe to say it's okay. Like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't argue with somebody based off their head canon. It's head canon. We all know what it is. And let people believe what they want to believe. That's the way I see it. Is as long as it's not hurting anything, go ahead. It's like if you were to say, let's see, what would be a good one? I don't know. If you in your head canon, say for instance, you say Grant died during the San Diego incident, and then he appears in Jurassic Park 3, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you can't have something that outlandish as canon in your head. I think people will probably argue with you if that was your case. But if it makes sense to the story and stuff, I think it's okay, and we shouldn't really, like, fight about it. The community's a great place. So just let people do their own thing. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I want to go back here. Michael Pierce says, canon is such a fickle thing since Universal changes the meaning of it on a regular basis. Especially things classified as soft canon. I don't think soft canon is a thing, to be honest. I've been seeing that term thrown around. But I don't know if soft canon, I don't think it would be really a thing. I think, like, even the DPG stuff, all that stuff is canon. Like, that is not soft. I think if you wanted to say, like, head canon is sort of soft canon, maybe that could work. The big picture that you mentioned, yeah, it wasn't a thing ever. Like, it's just starting to be a thing, and it's becoming a big thing now, even like with Fallen Kingdom and the release of Evolution of Claire. So it's becoming a big thing, and I appreciate that, but it makes you wonder, like, where can you go? Where's it going to go from there or here? I don't know. I don't know how big you can get with the canon and not be too outlandish. But then again, the Fast and Furious exists. So stuff like that from Universal is outlandish and crazy, and we just don't care. Like, it's fun. So I don't know how far they want to go with stuff like that. Hopefully it doesn't turn into the Fast and Furious, even though I love the Fast and Furious. But I don't think we should be afraid of that. Let's go here. I'm going to go through your questions some more and see. So I can't get to everybody, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm trying to read through, but there's a lot of comments and questions. If by chance you did feel inclined, there is the super chat option, but that's the only way I'll definitely see it. Let me just work around here for a second. But yeah, so otherwise I don't always see things, but I'm trying. Going back. Okay, so Michael points out the Mosasaurus gate from Fallen Kingdom. I think you can go with two things here. So the Mosasaurus lagoon and gate and where it is, where it's located. Um, I think you can say in your head like, I don't think it's headcanon because there, aside from the map, which is certainly inaccurate, like it doesn't represent what was established in Jurassic World, which I just don't understand how that slipped by. I don't understand how that was approved. How, you know, Colin is the only person who knows that that's not accurate, and it just wasn't like he just let it slip. I don't know. I think there should have been levels of people that checked that, but it slipped by. It slipped by. So now instead of in the middle of the map, it was down in the bottom corner, sort of, which allowed the Mosasaurus to sneak through the gate and go out into the ocean. Now, with a lot of the maps and stuff, there's also many waterways and rivers and stuff like that, canals built into the island. So, in my headcanon, you could say, it was a channel, and it was a river or whatever it was, something, an inlet somehow got into that area and let the water and refresh the pond or something like that, so that it wasn't stale water in there for the Mosasaurus. It was constantly being refreshed. So that's my idea, and certainly I think personally that not everything was shown in Jurassic World or in Fallen Kingdom. So it allows you to believe that there was a channel. It allows you to think and dispel your beliefs, because maybe you saw Fallen Kingdom and you said, that's definitely the ocean. My mind, I didn't say that. I was okay with it, and I'm like, it makes sense to me because especially islands like Sorna has waterways everywhere, and I'm looking at a map right now on my wall that has a giant waterway, going all the way through the center of the island. So I think it's perfectly capable, I think the Mosasaurus was perfectly capable of making its way down the river. And when the camera focuses the Mosasaurus going through the gate area, and all you see is water in front of it, I think the camera could have been just focused on that one waterway and nothing else. Maybe I'm dumb for thinking this, but that's the way I think. I know a lot of people will be like, try to be more realistic about it and say, no, it's definitely the ocean. Fine. But it is a slight issue, but I don't think it really matters all that much. It is what it is. We can't fix it. You can just choose to accept it or not and just hate these movies. I don't know. Like, it just up to your like demeanor, your mentality towards these new films. I think pays a lot into how you interpret what happened there. So I don't know. I interpret it in a way that it's possible. So yeah. Let's see what else we got going on here. Squishy Dude. He says, I love your podcast. Keep doing what you're doing. Thanks, man. Thanks, Squishy Dude. That's awesome. Thanks for the super chat. I'm just doing a podcast. That's it. This is not, for anybody that is watching this for the first time, this is not the podcast per se. This is just me talking. But if you were to define a podcast, that would be the exact same definition. But for anybody who hasn't listened, the podcast is very produced, I think, and it focuses on a lot of different people as well. So it's not just me. I'm the host, so I kind of start and end the show, but I'm not always on the episode. I'm either the intro, the outro, or sometimes I have a topic. But a lot of times there's other guys and other people that are like interested in speaking about Jurassic. So it's a wide, great community of people, and the podcast is a big thing. And so if you haven't downloaded it on iTunes, make sure to go download it and enjoy, because it's fun. It's a fun time, and I think a lot of people enjoy it. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure to check it out. But Mr. Squishy Dude over here, he's loving it. We're going to keep doing what we're doing, hopefully. So, as long as we can. Let's see what else we got here. Scrolling through these things here. Let's see. All right, so the thing is, Michael Pierce, I'm heading back to you over here. The thing is, fans have had Canon, and those fans can one day get hired by Universal to write Canon. Maybe that's possible still. At this point, it seems pretty set in stone that this is what it is, and that that these people have been hired to do the Canon on the side for like the websites and stuff like that. But at what point? Let me ask you this. At what point, or how do I want to say this? What is the distinguishing factor between a fan and a producer of content? Is Colin Trevorrow not a fan? Maybe you could say that about Derek Connolly because there's all this talk about him not seeing the movies beforehand. But people today were influenced by Jurassic Park and by Star Wars and all these things. So they were fans first and foremost. They grew into a career. They worked very hard to get to where they are. And now they get to do something that's absolutely amazing. So I think that the fans that have been hired to write the canon deserve everything that's happened. So they've been hired because they put themselves out there as a creative company. So they're not just fans. They've taken it a step farther and done more than other fans and other people in the community who just discuss it every day. So they have a right to be a part of something like that. So they're part of the creative team. They're not just fans. So I think there's a distinguishing factor there is that at some point you have to say like, yes, we're all fans of these things, but we can also be creative and thoughtful people and create content and be paid for it. So I think that there's there's definitely a fine line, and you can argue that fact, I guess, if you wanted to. But I think you can be a fan and still be a creative person and a productive part of the crew. So yeah. So Squishy Dude also asked, hey man, how have you been? Been good, man. I've it's good. You know what's good? The fact that this is gonna sound weird, but the fact that Fallen Kingdom is out, I'm glad. The fact that the Evolution of Claire is out, I am happy. The fact that the Jurassic World Evolution is out, I am like loving it. The fact that the toys are mostly out and still releasing, I'm like saying amen. Because like as fun and as exciting as those times were, it's exhausting. So I'm doing good. The fact that all these things have been released, there's time to breathe, time to think about other things, and do other things. Excuse me. That's terrible. But yeah, there's time to like focus on other things. So, and think about the podcast even further. Instead of being like 24/7, like what's the news cycle, what's going on, with the production, the release, the toys, the games, the books, everything. What is happening? Like you have to be so in focus with all those things that you don't really get a chance to enjoy a lot, especially other things. So it's nice to kind of have some time to breathe in between movies. I was thinking about this the other day, because Jurassic World came out in 2015, and sitting here right now, I'm like thinking back, like, man, what happened in those 3-year span? Like, what happened? How did that fly by so fast? I I don't get it. Like I'm kind of blown away. And the fact is that like the news cycle and everything kept going and kept going. So it really didn't stop. Right now we're at a good point where it's kind of quiet, not a ton going on, but at the same time you hear that Universal is preparing for Jurassic to be a 365-day franchise. And at the same time, I tweeted about that when that news came out. I tweeted, like, what do you think we've been doing? Like, what's happening over here is we're creating a 365-day environment. And a lot of other fans and everybody on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, we've created a 365-day franchise without Universal. So they're just catching up to us. But even though it is 365 days and we literally don't stop thinking about it, so many of us with our group chats and our conversations on Twitter and everywhere else, we don't stop thinking about it, but there is a nice lull right now where nothing else is happening. As I'm saying this, I'm sure like news is dropping and blah, blah, blah. They release a title or something. I don't know. But now I'm nervous that there's something out there. But yeah, it is a good time right now. So I've been good. Let's see what else we got here. Scrolling through. All right, so Squishy Dude again. He says he likes to consider the game canon. Now, I'm sure maybe I kind of, I don't know how far back this was, but he considers the game canon. Where did it go? Oh, because of all the callbacks and references, it's a nice little side story. Yeah, it is a great story. I really do enjoy that game. I think it's a fun game. I know a lot of people don't give it a lot of credit, but I do enjoy it. I think it's a lot of fun. And it can be considered canon prior to Jurassic World, I think. But after that, it doesn't really work as well. But yes, there's so many nods, and it was meant to be tied into the movies and everything like that. But once Jurassic World came around, it just didn't work. It didn't tie in as well. And mostly because, like, for instance, that if you want to take one thing from it, the fact that the visitor center was broken, you know, the T-Rex busted through it, destroyed the entrance. In Jurassic World, that was not the case. It was intact. So, in that sense, you can't really, you know, consider it, you know, full canon. But like I said, with the trickle down effect, you can you know, pull pieces from it and put it in and insert it into the new films and the new books and the new whatever. So there's pieces of it that could work. So let's see, what else do we have here? All right, so Angry T-Rex, do you think the dino damage should be upgraded? The dino damage, should it be upgraded? No? I don't really know how you would upgrade it. Maybe you can fill me in on what you mean. Let me grab one real quick while I'm thinking about it. I got a bunch back here. I got a new one that I'm going to show off soon on the channel. So keep your eyes peeled. I don't know when it's coming. It might be like, I don't know. Should probably put that out soon. Let's see. All right, so why don't we use blue here, for instance? So it's a nice little figure. I don't know how well this is coming up. I'm going to see here in a second on my screen. But blue has the dino damage piece right here. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you can definitely see the crevice all around, and it doesn't necessarily blend in as well as you'd like, but um, when you open it up, it's nice. It's a nice little piece. It just looks like flesh, something like that. It's kind of gross looking, but excuse me. Picked a great time to do this, huh? Um, I don't know what you could upgrade with this. I think I think Dino Damage is an interesting thing. I really liked the Dino Damage, like for instance on the original Triceratops. Um, it's kind of inset. I don't want to like. I have it right there, but I don't want to pull it out. There's a lot of other dinosaurs around it, but I like that Dino Damage. But if you look at a lot of them, a lot of people own it still. We're all missing the Dino Damage, like the piece that you inserted in. So I don't know if you can consider that an upgrade. I mean, overall, it would seem nicer because it's like an inset piece and it fits in nice, and it's a much bigger Dino Damage piece and stuff like that. But I don't know if it's an upgrade because this you can't lose. Like it's not going anywhere. So it's nice that it is. It will always be there as long as the figure is intact. That Dino Damage can come and go. And for instance, like you can have another raptor come up and just be like, "Rawr," and just hit it, and then now you have Dino Damage. So it's kind of cool that it can like essentially just open up its mouth and take a chunk out, and now it just bit part of Blue's skin off, and that's super gross. And Blue will probably definitely die from this. This is a giant wound, so I don't think that's a good thing. But I don't know what you could update on it to make it better. If you have any ideas, let me know for sure. Um, let's see what else we got here. Hi, Jurassic World says hello. Hey. Palmer Green says hi. Hey, how's it going? Let's see. Asher here says hi. How's it going? Um, let's see what else we have. So Squishy Dude, trust me, I've downloaded it. I didn't necessarily mean you with the podcast, but in general, um, other people out there that are listening and maybe tuning in for the first time. But I figured you said you loved it, so I was like, I think he's downloaded it. So um, let's see what else we got here. Michael Pierce said, quote, just doing a podcast. True, but you also did some fantastic voice work in Jurassic Explorer, which everyone is really happy with. So thank you again. We love it. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked it out, click on Michael Pierce, his page there, and well, I don't know if it's not on that page specifically, but I'm sure you can find it via him there. But he's got a great thing there with Jurassic Explorer. It's so much fun. It's such a great concept that he came up with. This playthrough and walkthrough of the island, and there's little games and things inside there. It's so fun. Like it is beautiful work too. And he mentioned the voiceover work. Yeah, you can hear my voice inside that game. So make sure to check it out. So it's cool. But yeah, we've done a lot. We've done a few episodes with Michael there. And I think Tom did an article on the website too. So there's a lot going on. So make sure to check out all his work. Let's see what else we got here. Still scrolling through everybody. Sorry, trying to catch up. There's a lot of stuff. But Squishy Dude came through with the super chat, so I got to see his stuff. Um, let's see. All right, so let's talk about the Spinosaurus for a second. Somebody said here, who was it? Where did it go? Master Builder 164 Gaming and Reviews. Hey, dude. Says, how do you feel that the Spinosaurus is canceled because Target refuses to restock it? Let me take a sip of coffee here. How do I feel? I feel annoyed, to be honest. You know, it it should be something that we own. You know, like it should be in our collections, and kids should be playing with it. And it's just not the case. You know, and a lot of scalpers have been destroying this line, buying up things instantly, whether it's Zia on Walmart or Spinosaurus from Target. A lot of stuff is just like bought up, and I don't know if there was limits on how many you could buy. I didn't even see it available for sale, but it was available for a few minutes, I think, at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then it was gone. The Spinosaurus. They sold it once, and that was it. I don't get it. I don't understand. Like, for instance, Ellie, Muldoon, and Grant are legacy figures sold in Target. There's a lot of dinosaurs, too, that are all legacy figures, all sold in Target. So, here comes the Spinosaurus, a legacy figure, supposed to be sold in Target. But I don't understand the difference between these figures and that figure. Why was that one secluded in its own deal or whatever it is? I don't know. If somebody knows, let me know, because I have no idea why that was given its own treatment when all these other legacy dinosaurs and humans and vehicles are still on the shelves and still available for sale, and it only happened with the Spinosaurus. I don't get it. Now Target has been very coy with the whole thing. They haven't really given a firm answer, but Mattel has been out there, and Britt Schatz, who I think she's a brand manager, she is basically saying, and Mattel is saying that Target refuses to sell it. Sorry, just shook the camera. Target refuses to sell it, and it will no longer be restocked. It's Target's decision, and that's the final word. So I don't get it. I don't understand how that became so different of a deal versus everything else. Was it the size? I don't know, because they have no issue selling the other T-Rex, which was around the same size. The Extreme Chompin. They have an Extreme Chompin T-Rex and an Extreme Chompin Spinosaurus. The T-Rex is fine, but the Spinosaurus is an exclusive? I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't know. It makes no sense to me. It's very aggravating. Hi Jurassic World. Does that say hi? I think so. Says, I don't have $200 to spend on a Spino. Yeah. As far as that's concerned, don't do it. Have some self-control. Don't buy into scalpers' insane prices. It's just not fair. And people deserve to be able to buy these things on a shelf, online, wherever things are sold. I don't know if this is skipping for you guys, but it looks like it froze up a little bit on my screen. But people deserve to buy this thing. So I don't know. I don't know why they're kind of not giving everybody the chance to do that. That's kind of lame. So Target, get with it. Let people buy this thing, okay? Because it's not cool. Let's see what else we got here. If it was skipping for you, let me know in the comments, because it looked like it was skipping on my end, but I don't know if it's my internet or what. Yeah. Oh, so Michael here says he loves that I still have that drawing of me in the background. Yeah, for some reason there's like a glare. I don't know where it's coming from. You can see it right there. But for some reason, the glare, like directly on my face, it looks like. But that was drawn by James Hawkins of Jurassic Unicast and frequent contributor here on the podcast. So, yeah, that is me as Ian Malcolm in his pose there. Later on in the movie. So yeah, I gotta have that thing on my wall. Um, I like that wall back there. I mean, I'm still filling it out and stuff, and I have K2SO over there. It looks like, and I have the Great Movie Ride post sign up there. So I'm still filling it out. Yeah. So let's see what else we got here. All right. So Angry T Rex. Does Ted Brothers do free repaints for fans? Um, I don't think so. Um, he works real hard on all those repaints and all the things he does. So, he doesn't. I wouldn't say like just accept free things or just do free things, but you know he does great work. So he deserves some good money for that stuff. So I don't know if he's giving a lot away, but I'm sure there's a lot of back and forth with the different people that he's working with. But yeah, I don't know what he's got going on over there, but he deserves like all the credit in the world because he's doing a great job. He deserves money, falling into his lap for all those repaints. um, let's see. What do you guys want to know? What do you guys want to talk about? Still trying to catch up here. All right, so still talking about Mattel. A lot of you are still talking about Mattel there. Some stores don't even have wave 2 or 3. Yeah, I mean, as far as the toys are concerned, it's hit or miss. For instance, the what do you call it? The Sinoceratops is a newish figure. It's only been out for a little while now. I guess that's wave 3. I don't even know at this point what wave we're in. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's hit or miss because my stores have had next to none. I actually did find it. So that video is coming up, so stay tuned. Um, so I did find it, and then I did find it the next day as well. So I found it 2 days in a row, the Sinoceratops. But I only found one each time. Now, I don't know. I don't know what's up with that restocking, but they're just putting out one of a lot of these figures. Um, this guy, the Protoceratops and the Proceratosaurus and the Minmi. For a while, it was like one. You get one. Honestly, I think it's still one because every time I go to a store, they literally only have one. So it's kind of weird how these newer items are literally just getting one thing, and that's it. We're not giving you anything else. It's just one of those things. So you got to get there quick. You got to get that thing and be done with it. But when I talk to people, like in California, Ellie has been out there all over the place. Like everybody's finding her. She's just on the shelves normally. Here on the East Coast, at least in my area, and trust me, when I say my area, I'm talking about driving an hour all over this state of New Jersey. And I only found one just like last week. So it's crazy. It's weird. I don't understand what's going on because some stores have a ton, other stores have none, and one little store had one. So it's so weird that the restocking methods. Excuse my yawning. It's so weird the restocking methods that are going on now. But you got to do what you got to do. Apparently, the Sinoceratops in like the Midwest is like everywhere. Like every store has 5 of them. That has not been the case over here, and in my area, as far as the stock goes, there are loads and loads and loads of Pachycephalosauruses. Now, I have personally not liked that dinosaur. The sculpt, the paint job, I don't think it looks that good. So I'm not getting it. That's just the thing. I'm not gonna get that one unless it's like super discounted. I just don't want it. And a lot of people are like that way because it's not leaving the shelves. What else? I feel like that little green Triceratops has been on the shelves a lot. Hello. Oh, hi. I don't know why my watch just said hello. That was very creepy and nothing ever came on the screen. Oh, here's what it says. Hey, Ceratops has been on the... No, I didn't say Siri. Stop. So... Okay. No, stop talking to me. No. Stop. What's going on here? I don't know. Yeah, I lost my train of thought, so I have no idea. There's a lot of... Oh, and like Owen and Grant and Muldoon, they're everywhere. They're all over the shelves. So they got to figure out what's going on. They got to get the stock better. Load some more Ellies out there. Get the Malcolms out there. Get the Claires. I never saw that Wave 2 Claire, I think. I never saw it. The Yellow Jacket or whatever and the baby Stegosaurus. Never saw that one ever. Yeah. Let's see. So Alejandro here is saving up money for the Walmart exclusive roaring super colossal T-Rex. Just need it before the holidays. Well, I mean, why don't you? Did you ask for it for the holidays? There, did you ask for it to be on your list? It's like $50 now. I think it's around there. It's a nice one. I didn't choose to go for that, but I was actually recently thinking about buying into that one because it looks cool. It looks cool and it sounds cool. But I got the other one from Target. Super Monkey Gamer says, I like all of your vids. They're good vids. Thanks. Thank you. I hope they're okay. This one is just a mess. I mean, I'm coughing, I'm drinking, I'm just like sitting here chilling. So hopefully they're enjoyable. That's the that's the only thing I can hope for. Let's see what else we got here. Still catching up. All right, so Master Builder says the Sinoceratops is a shelf warmer. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. That thing is a beautiful looking toy. I think that might be one of my favorite ones so far. So stay tuned. I'm really excited about that video. Yay! Oh, super exciting video. I know, right? This is just what happens when you have a kid and you wake up at like 5 a.m., 5:30 or whatever what time I woke up. I don't know. So yeah, 10:53 you start to get a little tired. But I love that Sinoceratops, even though it's like a Pachyrhinosaurus. But I can't believe it's a peg warmer where you are. That's crazy. I mean, it's so good and it's mostly cheap. Like it's a pretty cheap item, so I'm surprised. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think my watch is trying to take over the podcast. I don't know what. It just turned on. It just turned on again when it like lit up when I looked at it. Yeah. Technology. Podcasts and technology, not good bedfellows. Got to think of lines on the fly, you know. So we're probably winding down. I've been doing this for a while. How long has this been going? This has been going probably too long. I don't know. But let's see. An hour long. So, unless you guys have any final questions or whatever, we don't have any more super chats, so nobody to answer there. But yeah, this has been fun. This is an hour long. I probably didn't intend to do it for that long. I got to do a lot of video editing and stuff like that. So, in the meantime, we got some fun stuff coming up on the podcast. So keep an eye out on the podcast feed. For everybody that is watching here right now, make sure to go to iTunes. Just download the podcast, search for the Jurassic Park Podcast on iTunes, download it, subscribe. A big favor. So I don't know how long you've all been listening, but if you're brand new or if you've been listening for a long time, go leave a review. So leave a review. I know like people like Michael, he lives in Australia, so he might have like an Australian page. So I don't always see all these other reviews. I do go and look every now and then. But people all around the world, wherever you are, just leave a review on our iTunes because that's the one that really helps. So just give us 5 stars. Okay, so go ahead, give us 5 stars, please. That would be very helpful for people to see the podcast. And to listen to it, because there's fans out there that'll search for Jurassic, and we want ours to pop up, and we want everybody to know about it. So make sure to leave those 5 stars, and you can write a review. You don't have to. You can just do 5 stars if you want to, or you can say something nice. Or if you hate the podcast, go ahead, give it 1 star. I don't care. But please, 5 would be nice. So in the meantime, go to JurassicParkPodcast.com. Find our articles and cool stuff over there. We got a lot of articles. Actually, I think there's one coming tomorrow, Friday. So keep an eye out for that. Also, go to Twitter at Jurassic Park Pod. We're on there. On Instagram, we're at Jurassic Park Podcast. Same thing over on Facebook. Just take a look on all those social media platforms. Here on YouTube, make sure to like these videos, each and every one. If you guys want notifications for when we go live and all those things, hit that notification bell. That's it. So subscribe, like, comment, share this podcast around. Thank you so much for watching. And this has been fun. I guess I got to end this. So, yeah, this has been a blast. I'm going to end it over here. Everybody, peace out. That was fun.